Hey guys, Anarchy here with another video today. Today's video is going to be on aim duels versus trades. Okay, I'm not going to be saying one's better than the other. That's foolishness. It's all situational. What I'm going to be doing is explaining what a trade is and what an aim duel is, and then I explain why you need to know that, and then we're going to give a practical example, and we're also going to give some examples just so you can recognize in high-level pro play, recently from IM Katowice 2016 specifically, when players utilize trades versus when they don't. Not saying that their decision making is always perfect, just showing to give a little bit of a better example. Okay, so let's get right into it. First of all, what is a trade? A trade is where player A is engaged in a battle with player B, obviously those players being on different teams. Okay, while they're engaged in that fight, one of the teammates of player A is going to kill player B while they are still shooting at each other. Okay, practical example. There's a guy standing right here in the middle of mid. Okay, let's just say he's right there where that Glock is. Right? Let's have two players peeking out of garage, one player on the left side, one player on the right side. Let's say I peek out from the right side, my teammate on the left still behind the cover. I peek out, I start fighting, and whether I go down or not, while we are still engaged in the battle, or just a little bit afterwards, this player is going to peek out and kill that player. The idea behind this is that one player cannot fight two at once. It's just not possible. Your crosshair can literally only be pointing in one direction. Okay? Now, unless they're stacked up, obviously, but that's extenuating bullshit. We don't care. Okay? That's what a trade is. Player A fighting player B, teammate of player A comes in and kills that player while he's still engaged in the fight. Okay? Now, an aim duel is just any fight at all. That isn't a trade. Okay? If I peek towards highway, even if I have a teammate right behind me, ready and able to shoot that guy just after I die, okay? That's not a trade. I'm not actually engaging in the fight while my teammate is fighting highway box. Unless I peek out while he's still fighting highway. Alright? Trade means player A fighting player B, and player C on the team with player A comes out and kills him. Aim duel is just anything outside of that. Okay? Now that we're clear on what those mean, let's talk about a practical example. Okay? Let's say we're pushing into mid. As T side, we have two players coming out of boost, two players coming out of mid main, one player doing the boosting. Okay, we smoke Z, smoke highway, and let's say we molly vents. Okay? With that, we have our entry. First player entering out of mid main, second player entering out of boost, other two throwing flashes, one guy from boost throwing a flash, the other guy from mid main throwing a flash. As the flash pops out, we want to clear mid as efficiently as possible and have as many of our players fighting as few of their players as possible. Okay? That's just numbers game. Right? The less opportunity you give your opponent to kill you, the more opportunity you give for you to kill them and win the round. Okay? So flash comes out. As the mid main entry, me and the boost need to be looking at the same thing, fighting on the same angles. Otherwise, we will die. Or otherwise, we won't be able to trade each other. Okay? That's one of the reasons why we smoke Z and why we smoke highway. If we don't smoke off highway, when I push out, even with the flash, if I peek out towards highway, my teammate cannot trade that fight. You can be up on highway box right here without boost being able to see you. See that? Can't see me at all. Okay? That's why we smoke it off. Now, I'm not saying you always need to do that. Just for this example, we're eliminating that angle. So we're smoking that off, and mulling off vents. To do this efficiently and to be able to trade the whole time, when the flash comes out, we both peek back mid. Okay? Then immediately, we're going to recognize that I can't peek left and right at the same time. Neither can this player. He can't peek both at the same time. Because if he peeks towards here, this is not covered. If he peeks towards here, his crosshair is not over there. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to pick one angle to clear first. As the mid-main entry, I'm on the ground level. I'm engaged in the harder fight, right? If I am above my opponent, it's a lot easier to shoot them. Their crosshair placement's fucked up, whereas mine is not. So what I'm going to do when I push out, I'm going to say peeking left. Okay? If I clear left first, I'm trusting my teammate to be peeking left with me. If there's a player on the right, he can't kill us both at the same time. He can kill the mid-main entry player, but then this guy will trade him. Even though I'm not directly looking at him, while my teammate's getting killed, I can pop down and kill him. Right? Very simple idea. Okay? But as the boost player, I also have to recognize I'm exposed to sandbags, whereas no one else is. Okay? So to make up for that, we're also going to have that second boost player who threw the flash for our first boost player. He's going to come out, he's going to stack up on sandbags with his teammate, then he might molly out sandbags or something like that if no one appears. And he'll be late towards everything, okay? So that's a practical example. We clear stuff as a team. We use flashes, we use nades, whatever. That's irrelevant. Basically what we're doing is we're just isolating the angles so that everyone is fighting the same things at once. Or if we have to fight too many things, like, for example, I can't peek left and right at the same time, neither can this guy. We don't want to just have two one-on-ones where this guy peeks here and the mid-main guy peeks left side. because that puts us in a situation where we both have to win our fights and we can't trade each other. We're in aim duels, okay? It's not the worst idea in the world to do this. It just relies on you shooting them first, which is totally fine, but it's a risk that you'll be taking, okay? So this was a little bit long-winded, but basically that was aim duels versus trades, okay? I'm not going to talk about when to trade versus when to aim duel. That's a huge topic. But anyways, hope this helped you guys. What I'm going to be adding a little bit after this, once my voice cuts out, is 2 different clips of pro teams using trades versus when they use aim duels, okay? Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you guys learned something. If you liked the video, please leave a like. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Ciao. Alright, so what we're going to be seeing here is Jacob takes a fight with Pasha, but then Pasha waits, regroups, and fights and trades with Neo. Okay? So the first fight Pasha took, where he peeked in the ladder room, that was not a trade, because obviously he's alone, he's just taking a fight, right? Just taking an aim duel. But then Pasha realizes, oh snap, I'm not winning this, I've taken a lot of damage, let me just back up and strafe out. He waits for Neo to get close, then he peeks with Neo, and they peek at the same exact time. So unless Jacob goes, 2-tap and then 2-tap, it's very, very likely Virtus Pro wins the fight. But more importantly, that's a demonstration of a trade. 2 players fighting at once, right? Alright, so the situation here, Kiyoshima is going to be pushing 1v3 on a retake, just trying to get some frags. He peeks towards forklift side. Eventually, Bialy reveals himself, and then Pasha peeks around to kill him after he's hurt. But the thing to note is that this is not a trade. If we could have an overhead view, what we would see is forklift peeking, Kiyoshima fighting at forklift guy, and then Pasha about a second and a half later peeks out. Okay, so that's not a trade.